What's up everyone, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this iPhone 12 and Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. The first thing I have noticed is the field of view. iPhone 12 have better field of view, wider field of view, and Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra have a narrower field of view. Also color grading is better on iPhone 12 and skin tone also looks pretty close to reality on iPhone 12. I actually don't have a lot of expectations from the front camera of Mi 10 Ultra, but I have a lot of expectations from Mi 10 Ultra rear camera setup. So let's flip to rear cameras and check which one does better. But before that, if you end up liking this video, then please don't forget to click on the like button and please subscribe to this channel. Let's flip to rear cameras. Some people may not like the result of this camera comparison, but it is what it is and I am here to share the truth. Anyway, at the beginning, let me tell you that I always take all the images in auto mode with auto HDR on, because I think most of the average people takes photos in auto mode. These photos are taken with the main sensors of these smartphones, and Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is actually too good. With bigger sensor, it performs well under bright daylight. The moment you watch these photos side by side, you would notice three main differences or issues: white balance, color rendition, and texture processing. Mi 10 Ultra has maintained cool color tone, true to life skin tone, color rendition is also close to reality. On the other hand, iPhone 12, like its predecessors, reproduced images with warm tone and a bit higher mid-tones. Highlights and shadows are almost similar, but Mi 10 Ultra is edge ahead. You may have noticed that the background got a bit blurry on the images taken with Mi 10 Ultra. It's mainly due to two factors: bigger sensor size and slightly longer focal length. This makes the whole image stands out and almost comparable to DSLR camera. Texture processing on iPhone 12 is almost the same as iPhone 11 or 11 Pro, which is actually not as good as Mi 10 Ultra. Even after all these differences, dynamic range, ambience, and light metering are pretty much similar on both of these two smartphones. Time for bokeh photos, same place, same time, but huge difference in performance. Anyway, it's like any other camera comparison. This will be a preference thing for sure. It depends on what you prefer. Like Samara, the model in these pictures, feels she looks better in the portrait photos grabbed by iPhone 12. But I think Mi 10 Ultra portrait photos are more realistic and true to life. Also, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra can grab true 50mm portraits using its 2x telephoto lens, and iPhone 12 depends on the main sensor. I care about bokeh effect, edge detection, amount of textures processed in the subject, and the separation line. After checking a lot of portrait photos, it is clear that both retain the same white balance like the main sensor. Mi 10 Ultra slightly saturates the color and bokeh effect is a bit too blurry. Other than that, everything is better on Mi 10 Ultra. Skin tone, amount of details, edge detection, edge cutouts, and separation line blend. In every segment, iPhone 12 only comes pretty close to Mi 10 Ultra but cannot clearly beat Mi 10 Ultra. Dynamic range and shadows are very similar, very difficult to judge, but overall, my vote goes to Mi 10 Ultra. I know, maybe a few iPhone fanboys will come and bash me, but this is the truth and I am sharing the truth. From outdoor to indoor, and iPhone being an iPhone start to perform like any other iPhones. Ugly white balance with heavy warm tone, saturated color rendition, and skin tone that is far from reality. iPhone 12 indoor photos looks pretty average and hard to believe that these images are grabbed with a $800 smartphone. Really, this isn't funny. It's painful cause this smartphone costs a lot. Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra chose to go for a bit overexposure and higher contrast ratio. Yeah, iPhone 12 at least got the exposure correct. Skin smoothing beauty effect of Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra makes this a bit soft, but look at the images at the right. I have made the original images available for you. You can download and check. Yes, iPhone 12 now have heavier skin smoothing algorithm than any Xiaomi smartphones. That hurts a lot. For sure, there are more textures processed in the images produced by Mi 10 Ultra. Also check the color of the clothing and tattoos on her hand. I see true to life color tone in the images taken with Mi 10 Ultra. I also need to mention that both did similarly well to detect ages. Now we are back to the main sensors and straightforward. Mi 10 Ultra corrected its exposure. White balance also moved towards cooler tone. Skin smoothing effect on Mi 10 Ultra is gone, and that makes these Mi 10 Ultra images very close to reality. Or I should say it actually correctly represents reality. iPhone 12 continued to saturate the colors and kept that warm tone. Yeah, sometimes it's a preference thing, but when it's too much, I don't know if there is anybody who'd prefer these iPhone 12 photos. In terms of details and shadows, both fought neck and neck, but as I have mentioned earlier, Mi 10 Ultra is edge ahead. These are night mode photos, and before you do any judgment, yes, there was a harsh yellow light blazing on the model. I have intentionally chosen this harsh lighting condition, and this made Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra lost its color balance, and color rendition is not as good as it should be. Color grading and skin tone on iPhone 12 is better, but in terms of details, sharpness, textures, Mi 10 Ultra is way ahead. Not only that, I am surprised to see how Mi 10 Ultra managed to produce images with less noise and grains. It is very unusual for Xiaomi smartphones to detect well-lit areas, but Mi 10 Ultra did it correctly and contrast ratio is almost perfect. This is truly preferential, cause one got correct color tone and the other one got more details. Which one would you prefer? Please don't forget to make a comment and let me know. I must say, a lot depends on personal preferences, and if we do not nitpick, then both of these two smartphones did perform well in selfie and selfie portrait photos. It's just the price per performance ratio and versatility of Mi 10 Ultra rear camera setup that puts it ahead. Yeah, as mentioned earlier, there was a harsh yellow light and Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra continued to process images with wrong color curve, and the face of the subject looks like a ghost. Even if the beauty mode was disabled, some kind of aggressive beautification was added along with skin smoothing effect, and there are more noise and grains in the background. Moving on to selfie portrait, all the attributes of selfie photos are here. Without any hesitation, iPhone 12 did better. From color grading to texture processing, noise removing, edge detection, better bokeh effect, contrast ratio, and white balance, iPhone 12 actually managed to produce better photos with its front or selfie sensor. No, iPhone 12 doesn't come with a telephoto lens, but Apple always claims that it has very good digital cropping algorithm. Yeah, that's true when you compare with other smartphones. But Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is different, it's better than others, and obviously it's hard for iPhone 12 to compete with Mi 10 Ultra without a telephoto lens. But I am really surprised to see that iPhone 12 actually managed to process as much details as Mi 10 Ultra on the subject. Yes, color grading is not correct, background is almost different than Mi 10 Ultra, but look at the face, check the skin. iPhone 12 did fought hard, and sometimes it's even better. Once again, it's very difficult to judge cause Mi 10 Ultra has correct color tone, more details throughout the image, it processed more textures, but that perfect focus of iPhone 12 is undeniable. Both iPhone 12 and Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra have the widest FOV, I mean field of view on ultra wide mode. It grabs more. I liked, and yeah, I still like ultra wide performance of Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro and Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Pro, cause those two have the same 20 megapixel ultra wide sensor as Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. Now Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is way better than those two cause it have better lens with optimized algorithm. This ultra wide setup and its performance is obviously better than almost any other flagships. It produces ultra wide photos with very good dynamic range, enough details, which is almost impossible for other flagships to generate with their smaller ultra wide sensors. Okay, iPhone 12 actually is not like other flagships and it fought hard, it almost beaten Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, And I am worried that I am wrong, cause in some ultra-wide photos iPhone 12 actually performed better than Mi 10 Ultra. There are a few differences, like white balance jumps back and forth, skin tone in outdoor environment under bright daylight and in indoor environment under low light changes randomly. Details and textures are way better than any other smartphones, but once again jumps back and forth between these two smartphones. Sometimes iPhone 12 and sometimes Mi 10 Ultra manage to process more details. One thing surprised me is color rendition and tonal contrast. Both of these two smartphones have very close and pretty similar outcomes.
在拍吗？
对，开始了，你坐吧。
我要跟着你走吗？
从这边走就去没人的地方好一点吗？
Okay, these clips were recorded at 4K 60 frames per second, the top possible settings for both of these two smartphones. Yes, I know Mi 10 Ultra can record at 8K but iPhone 12 cannot. A lot of the subscribers wanted this and here it is. Check color grading, check stabilization, check which microphone worked better. Yeah, iPhone 12 was on stereo microphone mode, so you should check that carefully and let me know which one performed better.
缠在一起，这是牛油果绿，不是苹果绿。
中国没有牛油果，有吗？
有，可以买得到。牛油果好吃，抹
特别好吃，
抹面包特别好吃。
对，
熟的差不多的。这边就各种颜色。
哎，对，黄色的看一下。
要搭着穿，这种要搭着穿比较好，搭着穿。看这个。狗狗。
这蓝色的也好看。
这个吗？
嗯。
这叫什么蓝？
不知道。
我也不知道，这蓝分好多种。这个蓝叫什么？我也不太清楚。
Yeah, we were talking in Chinese language, which you may not understand. However, you can see the difference in sound quality, video stabilization and color grading. I think it's time to wrap up this comparison with a verdict. I am not going to give any verdict cause I have given my verdict through the video. I want to know what do you think about these two smartphones. Please don't forget to make a comment, and if you have liked this video, then please don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to this channel.
We don't have to go back to what we used to. Rather just stay, make a new life with you. This must be fate, must be a sign. So lost here, lost forever. Love being stuck here.